What's up? This is Angel, A for Amazing. I am bringing you today something epic, something otherworldly. We're going to travel around the world. I have with me today Rael, Nagasta, and N. Stephen Harris. We're going to hang out a little bit and go over this epic Kickstarter. So, producer, if you would please bring in our guest. Hello, gentlemen. How are you?
Good.
Hey, good.
How you doing? If you Rael, would you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about.
Yeah, greetings. Thank you. My name is Rael Nagasta. I'm the writer, creator, and publisher of the Indigo Clan comic book series. And so we got 5 chapters out. We're putting it all into one book. I also do energy healing, sound healing, construction, and yeah, I'm really excited to be here talking with you guys tonight.
Thank you for joining us. And Steve, tell us a little bit about yourself for those that don't know.
I am Stephen Harris, a 34-year comic book veteran, done with Marvel, DC, Dark Horse, published by Image and other companies, Dynamite. Have a few awards under my belt and a few more nominations. So I'm here with the Indigo Clan book and crew to promote this Kickstarter.
Thank you for joining us. When I came across this, I was like, oh, we have to let the community know, because this is amazing. The Kickstarter is live now. If you would start with the slide, please, producer. Derek, please. And Rye, can you tell us about your team that put this together? How did that happen?
Well, Stephen and I have been working on this comic book for years, since 2019, Stephen, is that right?
19, yep.
2019. So another artist helped me manifest the comic book into reality. Shout out to Anthony Angelero. And, he really helped bring this vision to life. And he couldn't continue to work on the books. And so when I was looking for other artists, I was really searching for somebody that was going to be like, really do it justice, really do an amazing job. So I was searching hard and long, and I tried out a bunch of different folks. And then one day I was on Instagram, I was scrolling, and then I just saw Stephen Harris saying like, hey, I'm open for commissions. And hit him up right away. I sent him the comic and he hit me back right away like, this looks great. I'm really excited to work on this. And then we started, just getting it going. So I told Stephen recently that we actually met at AfroPunk 2017 when I debuted the comic there at AfroPunk, the first vending place we released the comic at, and was introduced, and we met really briefly, so I kind of knew who he was before I reached out to him. So it was really cool that we actually got to meet, because I'm on the West Coast out here in Oakland, California. He's in Brooklyn, so we don't really see each other in person that much. And then Steven referred me to Walt Barna when we were talking about colors. That was the first person he named, and man, Walt Barna is amazing. Like, his colors, like, let's add a whole other dimension to the comic book. Just really bringing the vibrance, but also some of the concepts with the metaphysics and the spirituality and the sacred geometry, all these things. Walt really brings those illustrations that Stephen makes like into life, where it's like, whoa, like it's really basically mind-blowing. And then Stephen and Joseph Illich have been friends for a long time as well, and Stephen referred me to Joseph, and Joseph also was excited to work on the project of collecting all 5 of these chapters. He read through them. He started on editing already. He has a lot of really nice things to say about the project, and he's he's into it. So we're super stoked to have him on board, and all his years of experience as well as an editor and a writer. He just wrote what's it called? Blood Letter.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, just
Hmm.
released the most recent chapter. So, he's still in it. He's still going hard. Miss T is my wife. We say the steward of the Indigo Clan because she's bringing the comic book to life. Like she is helping to create events and retreats and Indigo Child Mystery School for children, kind of incorporating some of these ideas, this reclamation of our human potential and our connection to nature, and um, our ability to connect with our purpose in life that contributes to making the world a better place. And Jabari Tawiya is a friend of mine. We've been friends for a while. He won a Grammy, couple Grammys, for audio engineering. And when I was writing the comic book, he was like, "Hey, we need to make music for this comic book." And so we made an album when we released the first couple chapters. And so he's also joining us in this Kickstarter. We're creating more music, creating a soundtrack for the animation, and yeah, it's a super amazing team we have working on this Kickstarter. So we're really excited to bring it out there to folks and give them something really unique, special to experience. It's not just reading a comic book, it's a whole experience, it's a movement, and we're inviting folks to join the movement.
Absolutely. And Steve, can you elaborate a little bit on your career? Because it's huge, it's massive, and I love it. I love your work.
Oh, thank you, thank you. I'll start with okay. I'll start before Aztec. I was in '95. I was working on a book called The Crush with Motown, the Motown.
Mm,
They were doing comics under Michael Davis, and so I was doing that in '95. Then that led to me co-creating Aztec with Dark Horse Comics. I mean, DC Comics. Sorry, DC, working with Grant Morrison and Mark Miller. And then I went on to I did some Batman work with a book called Officer, limited series called Officer Down. Uh, I was on in '98. I did Deadpool, a Deadpool annual, which was a template for the first Deadpool movie because it was an origin story, and that was cool to be linked to. I didn't even realize that until an editor, not editor, but someone working at Marvel said, "Hey, we got a check for you." I said, "Oh, really?" Because that was linked to the Deadpool movie, and so then I got a few um, Glyph Awards for my work on my creator-owned book, co-creator-owned
nice.
Jala, with the late Robert Garrett for best female character for 2 years in a row. That was followed by a Glyph Awards for my work on Watson and Holmes in 2014, and a couple of Eisner nominations for Watson and Holmes as well. Before that, I did a few issues for Dynamite on Voltron that lasts about 6 issues. That was in
Hmm.
2013, 2012, 2013. And then I had a little run on a book called Michael Cray for DC Comics, DC Wildstorm in 2018. That led into meeting Rael on Instagram when he said he wanted a commission. I'm thinking of an image, like a one character or something like that. That was if I was of his favorite character. I was not thinking a mini run on a 32 page per book run on the title. So that was a pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
So it's been a good run. Hope to continue it for a few issues longer, however it lasts. And I'm looking forward to see how this Kickstarter affects that and moving forward with that.
Yeah, we're gonna take a look right now into some of the
Mhm.
aspects of this uh, graphic novel. So, right, these are the chapter covers, right? Is that what I'm understanding? Can you explain a little bit?
Yeah, that's right. The chapter covers of chapters 1 through 5. So chapter 1, that's different artist Anthony Angelero that did that cover, and then all the other covers is N. Stephen Harris's work.
Well, except
And
issue 5. Issue 5 is Walt.
thank you for that correction. Walt Barna did issue 5, and then issue 5 is um, the comic that I was able to submit to the Glyph Awards, and it won, or it was nominated, excuse me, for 3 Glyph Awards: best cover, best artist, best character. And so that was a huge honor and confirmation that we're doing something good. And yeah, you can see we kind of have a theme going here with the covers. We have a series of colors going on, and just to name, like, yeah, there's great characters. There's a lot of action. There's some interesting powers, and there's also a lot of symbology that we put into this book. And so, with these covers is kind of where that symbology comes in, symbolizing things from different cultures, different traditions, um, and the sort.
Okay, yeah, we'll get to the characters now. Um, these colors are so vibrant. This is what attracted me the most is it crosses a diaspora of people, and it's just so attractive, and I want you to like explain, like, we've talked a lot about the different characters, but we'll get to dive in on each of them. What's the next slide? I don't remember. I'm bad at this. Oh, there we go. Yeah, tell us about Deva. She's the main character, right?
That's right. And yes, shout out to Walt Barna. He did these character designs, and he did really great job on his character designs. And then the colors are just a sample of, like, how his colors really bring Steven's work to life. And yeah, this is Deva. She's the main character of the comic. She's a young woman from Oakland, California. She was born with mystic powers, and she kind of just is learning about these powers. The Reptoids try to capture her, and then the Indigo Clan comes. They help her escape from the Reptoids. They train her how to use their powers, and they go on a mission to find other Indigos, which are people who have these, mystical powers. And they travel around the world to activate the sacred energy of the earth.
And then was how do you pronounce that? Enzo? Is that right?
Angso, yeah. And
Also.
just to elaborate real quick about Deva, because it's really important for me for this main character to be a young black woman. Because when I was writing the Indigo Clan, I really wanted to symbolize, like, a paradigm shift. Like, we need to change a lot of things in the world, and including in our media. And for me, growing up, what I saw a lot as, like, the hero that was presented to us through all the media and all these things is, like, you know the white man is the savior. And for me, I wanted to make sure that we're shifting out of this paradigm. Like, we can save ourselves, and there's so many rich cultures and people. So for me, it was really also connecting to, I'm Afro-indigenous, so connecting to, like, my African roots, like really acknowledging that when black women are empowered, big change happens, big positive change happens, cultures and um, communities thrive. And so that's the whole idea behind Deva, is, like, really making this a powerful statement of shifting the paradigm into something that's going to really help us grow as community, grow as people, and become more empowered in saving ourselves.
That's right. That's right. There's so much truth in that, especially in this current era that we're in, there are many of us that have the ability to empower others, inspire others, and the agenda is always chasing at our heels to make an alternate story. Um, and I appreciate the lead being a black woman, because we absolutely need to revert the narrative back to how it used to be before all the disruptions and cover-ups. So I
Mhm.
love this. I love this about this story.
Mhm.
And Steve, with the characters, what was your inspiration in how they looked? You know, did you like how did that all come about?
Well, this work right here is Walt's work. Is his drawing.
That's Walt's.
This
Okay.
Walt.
Hmm.
But when I drew the characters, I mean, I just pretty much took what someone else gave me and put my own spin on it.
Yes.
It's a process of drawing, just doing some character sketches, some character studies of what someone else drew, and just taking that, getting used to what the shapes of the characters, their silhouettes or their profiles, and making them my own, and having a getting comfortable with drawing them, and adding maybe no, adding what I bring to the table, whether it's the likeness or just some flavor that I can bring to the character.
And
Yeah.
Joe had popped in real quick and he says, "Evening gang, doing a drive by to say that Indigo Clan is a story of special quality and intention. I'm proud to be a member of the team and let's get it funded so we can have impactful heroes." Yes, sir. I agree wholeheartedly.
Uh-huh. Yeah, Stephen, actually, I don't know if you remember, but
Yeah.
when you were designing Deva, you were like, no, she has to have a different hairstyle. You're like, can I change up the hairstyle?
Oh yeah. I did add
Yeah.
the little fro hawk. I did do that.
Yeah. So he really brought her in with the frohawk and
Yeah,
some other hairstyles. Yeah.
yeah, because I know I wouldn't want, because the sisters really have some amazing hairstyles, and I don't want to get lost in the amazing hairstyles because that'd be a lot more work for me. But I want to, I want to do something, something sisterly, something that is their own, and that I can have fun drawing over and over again, and not be too much work. Because I'm not drawing a whole bunch of braids or a whole bunch of trinkets in the hair all the time. That's just crazy work. Unless it's a pinup. I love it, but not that damn much.
All right. And the next two characters, tell us a little bit about those two.
Yeah. So Yamaya, she's a Mexican medicine woman, so shamanic healer, and she's one of the leaders of the Indigo Clan on the healing side, on the activating the power side. So she helps Deva to tap into her powers, to harness her powers, and but also in battle, she, can heal the people who are attacking her to the point where they don't want to attack anymore. And Yamaya is actually inspired from a friend of mine, you know, um, who is a young medicine woman when I met her, and I was just like really blown away by some of the things that she was doing with her energy healing, her shamanic healing, and her connection to the spiritual realm and these types of things. And so when I was writing the Indigo Clan, I was talking to my friend like, hey, what would you say in this, in this context and these types of things? And so in that way, I was like bringing something real into the comic, and then exaggerated it as much as I could. And then Horacio, he's from Brazil, Afro-Brazilian, and he's doing capoeira, which is a Brazilian martial arts dance. Capoeira like influenced breakdancing. Like breakdancing came partly from capoeira, and also used to do capoeira for several years, and so I really wanted to bring this into the comic book, the breakdancing, capoeira, multicultural, Afro-Brazilian symbology into the comics, and also with all of that also comes like these concepts of orishas and archetypes and these types of things. So Horacio is another leader of the Indigo Clan, more on the action side, and he has like sacred geometry, which helps him to, do his movements in really powerful ways.
Okay. And then our next two characters.
Yeah, so it was also important for me when I'm creating the Indigo Clan, like it's multicultural, like this movement that is changing the world is even more powerful when we are united throughout our cultures, despite our differences of beliefs or religions or these different things. Like I wanted to really symbolize experiences that I was having, which was also multicultural, is Afrocentric. It's in indigenous wisdom. It's connecting with all these different traditions and really empowering all of us. So Oyana, she's from India, and she was an ex-assassin turned indigo, and so she's channeling these dragons here. She's a martial arts expert. And then Koa, is a complex character, um, dealing with morality and a past, coming from the streets and coming from the military. And he's Samoan, and just sending a lot of love and shout out to to all the Polynesians out there, and just these this really amazing culture of these really powerful people. And I wanted to make sure I was doing my best to represent them in a great way in the comic book, and also giving a lot of depth to these characters.
Yeah, and we have our next two characters that's part of the clan.
Yeah.
Sakala.
Yeah, Sakala and Flux. So Sakala was a character concept that Steven helped to design this character. And when we were writing the chapter, I was like, I was like, okay, Steven, like here's like my concepts, here's some reference images. And then he kind of took that and went with it and came up with a really beautiful, amazing, powerful character. So she has these spirit animals helping her, which are like energetic, animals that help her to heal and also help her in combat. We have the harpy eagle, the boa snake, and the jaguar. These are all animals from the Amazon jungle. And Sakala is from Colombia, and this is also where part of my ancestry is from Colombia. So, I really wanted to honor that country, honor these cultures, honor the Amazon jungle, honor the really powerful shamanic healers that come from the Amazon, and also even more symbology with these three animals. They represent the three states of consciousness, the boa being the subconscious, the jaguar being our waking conscious, and the harpy eagle representing our higher selves. So just an example of the symbology there. And she's like also a powerful healer in the comic who um, heals during combat as well. And Flux is a character that was introduced later in the book. He's from New York. He's mixed heritage, from a um, few different races, and I just really wanted to also represent that, since also being very mixed myself, and all the different shades that we come in. And yeah, Flux, he's also got a lot going on, and we look forward to seeing more of him in the next chapters.
Oh, good. Man, it's impeccable and just brilliant, the inclusion and the honorings of the different cultures. I'm very, it fills you up to just see truism and realism, and um the adventures that they have are just exceptional. It's like fun and scary, and you dive in, you get pulled into this universe. What do we have on the next slide, Mr. Producer, please? Uh-oh, it's the bad guys. What are these men about? Like, oh.
Yeah, so the reptoids, these are like the agents in the Indigo Clan. So, when I was younger, I was really inspired by the Matrix movie. And for me, this concept also comes from just people that that operate out of a base of selfishness, greed, hatred, anger, you know, and they don't really have much care or love for other people, or you know, they just really looking out for themselves, or they're really obedient. A lot of those types of folks find themselves in positions of authority, and so the reptoids represent that mentality, you know, and that mentality comes from the reptilian mind of the human. So, you know, in this concept, we have reptilian mind, mammal mind, human brain, you know, and so when people operate out of fear, anger, hatred, selfishness, it's a lower vibrational mindset, and that's what the reptoids represent. And also this concept of, you know, energy or even spirits possessing people and making them act in ways that aren't good. And so these are like the main antagonists of the reptoids. And, you know, anybody could be a reptoid. Like if once somebody gets into those lower vibrational mindsets and frequencies, they could open up for being possessed by these reptoids. Um and then Sethavis here, he's like the leader of the reptoids. He's super powerful. He connected with these reptoid demons and the ancient history, um, which the Indigo learn about this in chapter 2 of the book. And so Celevis is using his power, his influence over the other reptoids to manipulate the masses to gain more power and control, so that he can also find other indigos, harness their powers, and really stop the evolution of consciousness of the planet, so they can keep the wealth, the resources, and everything for themselves.
Yeah, I can see ice being reptoids.
Yes. Facts. Facts. All day long. I was just thinking that it's like, it's so easy when you're at your base vibration, the lowest functioning that you can be. It's easy to throw up, oh yeah, I'm just doing my job, it's my job. And people forget, you know, for whoever sees this outside of our community, people forget you're responsible for every single person that's in front of you, period. Humanity is interactive. We meet each other, and the idea of this separation and throw away, you hate requires you to hurt yourself first before hurting someone else. That's just how it is. So yeah, I agree with Steve with that. That's the mice agents. All right, and then on our next tell me about this character, because character is so interesting.
Yeah. So Koa, he's the Samoan character. Um, and I have, like, you know, a little backstory, rough draft written for him too, but he's has a complex past. He came from the streets, you know, so he's had a hard life. And from the streets, you know, he also, because of all the violence and everything that he experienced, he's like, okay, he went into the military and then excelled in the military because of his indigo powers in combat. You know, he can sense other people's intentions. He can even like see where people are hiding at with his extrasensory perception. And you know, he can also, when he's using weapons, his indigo powers can make his weapons like stronger, basically. And so he excelled in the military, became a mercenary, and then when he became a mercenary and Sethavis got a hold of him and, you know, was able to manipulate his indigo powers to have him uh, join the Star Ops, which are the enemies of the Indigo Clan. Star Ops stands for Supernatural Trackers of Arcane Recon Operations. So they're basically the ones who hunt down the Indigos, the Indigo children, young Indigo folks, and, you know, kidnap them, brainwash them, these types of things. So Koa has some brainwashing. You know, I'm kind of giving a little bit away in the comic book, but it's really special about how he is facing his morality, healing the trauma of his past, and how deep it really gets in the path of you know, violence and being a star op.
The real question is, everybody's just 13 on his head. What is that? Is that an obvious reference? What are we doing?
To be honest, that's how, you know, Anthony Angolero, this is Anthony Angolero's character design that he did after chapter 1, but he couldn't continue on chapter 2, but he did this character design. And so I gave this to Stephen when Stephen was working with on chapter 2, and Stephen, you know, he ran with it. So 13, you know, I don't know what Anthony Angolero's story was. So in my head, the story I made up is like, you know, it has to do with just a number that is often used to refer to like a number of being cursed or something like that, you
Okay,
know.
yeah.
But it also, when people go deep into researching the number 13 and what it means, it could also secretly be a blessed number, you know. So it's a little like metaphysical conspiracy theory type of stuff happening with the 13 there.
Now, is Koa a reptoid? Or no? Is he like mixed between the two? Like that?
I mean, that's what
I'll be telling, because he has a complicated path in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can find out in the comic book.
Yeah,
The
find out his
Right.
Those
Okay.
are good questions, and the answers are there in the comic. And
Oh, right.
it's really interesting how, you know, how he can answer those questions for you.
Okay. I'll look forward to reading my hard copy. Okay. I think I'm the first investor, if I'm not mistaken. It just popped
Yeah.
up on my phone, and I
Uh-huh.
happened to be awake, and I was like, "Oh, let me get in here."
Thank you, Ms. Angel Perry.
Thank you.
Let's look at some of these panels. So that's Koa,
Mm-hmm.
and he's doing something bad. Like, how do you just be attacking some women? Okay, like that's not.
Well,
That's bad behavior.
I wouldn't worry about Oyana, because she can handle herself, and she got her
Yep.
crew back. She got her crew backing her up.
Yeah, you can
Oh,
see her.
yes.
You can see her eyes are glowing. One's
Yep.
glowing red and blue. So she, you know, she's not running. She's
No,
getting in
no.
close.
Oh, she's about to handle some business.
That's
Okay.
right. And Horacio's there to back him up. And then, you know, on the right hand side, we got the whole Indigo Clan, you know, ready to handle the situation.
Yeah, they're really setting Cole up for a bad decision.
Yeah, yeah. It's obvious he's stepping in it in this one. All right, and the next panel, I wanted to really, I pulled this one because this was just so brilliantly done. I could see this as a tapestry. I could see this as a wall mural. Uh, just tell me about this collage of just so many symbolisms in here and beliefs, and I just love it. Like, I can look at it all day.
Yeah, I mean, I had the vision for this page. This is one of those things where I have this vision, and I'm like, I don't know how Steven's gonna do this, but you know, here you go. This is what I have a vision of, and you know,
I'll say this is a true collaboration, because Ryan had the vision. I put together with the pencils, and Walt did the incredible color work, the design work behind Sakala, behind Oyana, the color behind the elephant, behind Anxo with the drums. So when I do these double page spreads that Rael conceptualized, that's the easy part.
Right.
And
Right.
it's like I said, he throws all this his imagery into it of the Indigo Clan, of the metaphysics. I won't say all, but a lot of the metaphysics in these double page spreads, and the work that you see, the color work that Walt puts in it, and that complements what I put out there is just amazing to me. And I'll leave
Yeah.
a lot of the color. I mean, I'll leave a lot of the effects to Walt, because I mean, I'm not even gonna try to pencil that stuff. I let his colors do the work with that.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so this is a ceremony where they tap into the spiritual realms, into deep healing of consciousness, and these types of things. So Sakala on the left and Yamaya on the right are holding down the ceremony. You know, they're opening up the portals for the healing and the visions to happen. And Sakala behind her has some indigenous energy powers inspired by the Shipibo tribe. And Yamaya has also these little geometries inspired by like the Eye of God design in Mexico, from Mexico traditions. And yeah, each of these characters, and this page is Deva and Oyana, and they're tapping into like Devo's tapping into like who are her foster parents. These are like her past lives as a pharaoh in a past life, as you know, another spiritual priest and priestess in past lives, tapping into the power of the Ankh uh, and the pyramids in Egypt. And you know, then the shadows in there representing some mysterious parts of her past. The symbol on the bottom of like the sort of yin yang, that's the Mayan version of the yin yang called Hunabku, just representing, you know, the light and the dark, and also the Milky Way galaxy. And then also getting deeper into metaphysics here with the two snakes intertwined, representing DNA. Also,
Right. That's
also
right.
yeah, also Kundalini, which is a concept from India, where your consciousness rises up through your chakras to activate a higher potential. And then there's a ladder into the clouds, just showing like the DNA, Kundalini, the consciousness is a way for us to ascend into these higher vibrational realms where we can tap into our best and highest selves. And so then that's connected to Oyana's red and blue dragons, because that's also part of what she symbolizes, yin yang, because she's a martial artist. Some of her past, in her past lives, you can see her, you know, a past version of her when she was an assassin, and there's like, you know, her with her sword and somebody laying down there. And also tapping into Ganesha, who's a deity from the Hindu pantheon in India, and you know, Durga, also another deity. So really breaking it down, because it doesn't say this in the comics, so this is a special treat for everybody watching, that like breaking down the symbology like this. I haven't really done it before. Don't really do it that often, but it's like that's what's going on here.
Yo, give the metaphysics what they give the metaphysics what physics what they want, man.
Right. That's right. All right. And then I pulled this, I think, off of the Facebook page. I don't know whose artwork was this. I don't know.
Yeah, that's interesting you pull this. It's I had somebody do a character design. His name is Cyborg Barbarian. He,
Hmm.
you know, I was seeing his art, and he was one of the folks I reached out to do chapter 2. He wasn't available, but he did this before I met Steven. But he did this amazing character design of Sakala, so because I really needed some reference images. And so yeah, he did this piece, and this is just, maybe you can consider it alternate universe version of Sakala the healer.
I often will dig deep in books and websites when there's a story that I like, because the progression of how you get to the final product is also fascinating. So when I saw this, I was like drawn to it because I knew that it was the character, but I was like, wait a minute, this is different than what's in the book. So I just popped that in there. All right, and the next slide, please, Mr. Producer. Now, this captured me because it's pastels and it's all this activity. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, this is from chapter 1, so the artwork is by Anthony Angelero. Although we pick up in chapter 2, so Stephen has his rendition of this dragon and stuff too, which was pretty cool how he's able to continue that character. But so this scene is from chapter 1, and the Indigo Clan, one of the things they're doing in the comic book is they're activating light domes, which is this concept I found from this book that, all over the earth are sacred places, like sacred energy points, and they're all connected through lines of energy, kind of like meridians from Chinese acupuncture. And so the whole earth has these meridians, and then there's sacred points, and Indigo Clan activate these sacred points in order to help the planet evolve in its consciousness. The planet meaning the earth, but also all of us on the planet. And so it's this idea that indigenous cultures all over the world have places that are sacred to them. That's where they build their temples. That's where they do their different spiritual practices. A lot of times are on these sacred places. And so the Indigo Clan in this page here, they were activating a sacred place, but it had these sort of like demons protecting it, and so they needed to fight the demons in order to activate this sacred grid. So, once they went into the spirits, the first panel, they're on the in the physical world fighting the demons that are coming from the spiritual world. Next panel, they're in the spiritual world, and that dragon, which is inspired by the feathered serpent of the Mayan and Aztec cultures. He's letting them know, like, humans do not belong in this realm, and so he's about to let them know why.
So with this clan, and as they're traveling in their adventures, so they're having both spiritual conflicts and physical conflicts.
Yeah,
Is that what I'm understanding?
that's
And
right.
see, that's brilliant. That gives merit to those of us that understand that spirit and physical go hand in hand. So it's good to see this story pull both types of conflicts that can happen.
Yeah, and from also my own personal experiences, sometimes something spiritual or energetic will happen to me physically, and other times in a meditation or in another type of shamanic journey, I might not be physical in my physical body, but I'm encountering things in the spiritual realm, and they're connected to each other, and there also can be different experiences.
So previously, you had spoke briefly on Sakala's ability to heal so strongly that the opponent doesn't want to fight. Can you elaborate a little bit about this?
Yeah. So for the indigos, they're coming from a place of love, of righteousness, like they're connected with the light, and they're on a mission to help the world and help people. And so the people that are attacking them are the ones who are trying to stop them from helping the world, from healing the planet, from activating these sacred energy sites. And so those people that are attacking them are generally coming from a place of lower vibration, a place of anger, hatred, trauma. A lot of times people turn to hatred, anger, violence, turn to, you know, pursuing violent careers or these types of things because of the trauma that happened to them when they were younger, or that, happened to them over the course of their lives. And then once they go down that path, right? It kind of feeds it. And so when they're in combat, this healer, Sakala, she's so powerful that all she has to do is project energy at them or touch them, and it activates their heart chakra, helping them to experience such a powerful healing that they're like, oh, that trauma that caused them to go into violence, or those things that cause them to go into anger, hatred, selfishness, all that type of thing, gets healed to the point where it's so mind blowing that they're like, they don't even want to. They like, why am I even fighting? You know, and they're not even like able to think like that because they've been transformed so powerfully.
That that is the biggest wish right now. We need like about 100 of her running around, healing people's trauma, because it is like impossible to get somebody to just even pick up the phone and get therapy. Okay, they just in a bubble. Okay, but next slide. This is beautiful too. These color palettes are just everything.
Yeah, Walt's
Okay.
amazing. Walt was amazing. And it was fun drawing this dragon. And enjoying Indigo Clan is like I really see the distinctions between the dragons, which are prevalent in both Central and South American cultures and
Mm,
Asian culture, especially East Asian culture. And
mm.
I was seeing the different distinctions in these dragons and in the depictions, whether in how they're drawn and just how they look in general, and how they're depicted. And I remember drawing types of dragons from South America, the northern part, the Incas and the Mayan dragons, when I was doing Aztec, because that's that reference the Incas and Mayan and the Aztec cultures in South America. So it was fun drawing these dragons in the run of this book I was doing.
Yeah, I love dragons, so that was definitely I just like that is everything. I mean there is some belief systems of what's called other kin, where your spiritual self is not necessarily human shaped, and that was one of the belief systems I adopted as a child, that when I represent in spirit form, I am a dragon. um,
Mm,
so every time I see the true different forms from different cultures of dragons drawn, people don't realize, yes, they actually have different features, different elements that they have affinities for. And I just, yeah, this is like one of my favorites already, and I don't even have the book.
really fun interpreting that through comics and seeing it interpreted through anime, and it's just fun drawing that interpretation myself.
Yeah. Yeah, that's deep, Angel. You know, I had a similar experience with dragons. I was always into them. I used to draw them when I was younger, and then, just kind of really had a connection with them. And then, once I started having spiritual experiences and I saw them, I was like, oh, okay, like, and this concept of that we can have an inner dragon, right? Because in these other cultures outside of the European cultures, like dragons aren't always bad. Like, in Asian and these, Mesoamerican, South American cultures, dragons represent these forces of nature. So in the comic book, the dragons are kind of like the angels of nature.
Mm,
And the reptoids are the fallen dragons, like the
yeah.
lower vibrational aspect of what a dragon is. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Next slide, please, Derek. I grabbed this because, again, I love dragons, but I love that they're on this adventure, and you see, they're on the motorcycle, and there's like so much going on, but they're still able to draw in and get help from their spiritual helpers. So I just I wanted to highlight this.
Yeah, this was fun to write. I wanted to have an epic motorcycle chase scene that was gonna be like unlike anything else that's out there. And so I just had this vision for it. Steven like really brought it to life. And like here you can see these dragons. They're actually attacking the Reptoid spirit demon.
Right,
So, they're not, there's kind of like little rules or whatever. Like they can't attack a physical person, but they can attack the energy of that person. And so that's
right.
what's happening there. And there's some other really epic scenes from this motorcycle chase. So yeah, yeah, thanks for pulling this one out. It's one of my favorite scenes from chapter 2.
All right, and then do we have any? Oh, yes. This captured me. And I think Derek was the one that highlighted just we can see her practicing her medicine here. And then the other panel where it just shows a lot of love in it. That's what I got. Just the energy of caring and protection.
Yeah. Yeah, the page on the right, this is when Sakala and Horacio first meet and they connect eyes, and then in that connection, they like remember past lives. And
Oh,
they're like, oh, in a past life we were like lovers a few times, and we were maybe siblings, and we were monks together, and we were enemies, and we were warriors, and these different things, and just kind of playing on that idea of past lives and like the people in our lives now. If you believe in past lives, or people in our lives now are people that we knew in past lives and had all these different relationships with, and um the ones we have the strongest connections with are are people that we're meant to keep meeting.
yeah, that's powerful. That's very powerful. Um, can you say a bit more about what an indigo child is? And does that term describe all members of the Indigo Clan?
Yeah, so indigo child is a term that came out, I believe, in the 70s or 80s to describe children that were born with um abilities, sometimes just really intelligent. Sometimes maybe these children had clairvoyance, which mean they could maybe see energy or see chakras, see auras. Other times, the children could just have really advanced personalities, these different types of things. And so, in a way, like the indigo children are like the evolution of humans. Like when we start to be born with these natural gifts, like Stephen is an indigo of art.
Sure is. Oh my goodness. All
Right.
magic to me. I don't know nothing about it, how to do nothing. Okay.
And so, indigo is also about indigo is referring to the chakra system, and the color indigo represents the third eye. So it's like being able to see, and even if we can't see the spiritual realms, we can still see the illusions around us. We can still see, that things need to change. We can still see like certain things aren't the real truth of how life is meant to be, and so that's the idea of indigo children. So the indigo clan is like the indigo children grew up,
Right, right.
and they really, and it's about all of us out there, all of us that are questioning and are having spiritual awakenings, or are really focused on our path of purpose and wanting to change the world for the better, and really embrace this concept of world unity, and spreading healing, coming from the heart, coming from love, and knowing that that's the way that the that we need to evolve as humans. That's the direction that we're going as humans. So yeah, that's my explanation for indigo children.
It is. Well understood. It makes sense. I like things that are logical, plausible, and has real world applications to them. So
Hmm.
that is just brilliant. And then on this panel uh, in front of us here,
Yeah,
which is also
this is
this
half
is
of a dope spread.
oh, okay, okay. Um,
So yeah, again, this is a lot of symbolism and metaphysics in here that was fun to draw and a challenge to compose, making sure all the elements were in here. And again, it's a life story. This one more deals with Horacio and Horacio and his upbringing. And I think the medium is Anxo. Is that correct?
Yeah, Anxo's like holding down the rhythm, kind of like how we might find in Ifa, Yoruba traditions, like, kind of like channeling through the rhythm to create the space, the energy, the portal for a spiritual experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
So this
It's
is like, yeah, Horacio's spiritual experience, his deep healing, because he had trauma in his life, but also connecting to past lives and other energies there.
so we are going to dive into the live Kickstarter so everybody can see and pick out what they want to get.
Mhm.
We're starting with the box set because there's only 5 slots available. And tell us what comes in this box set.
Yeah, so we really wanted to make something special for folks that really wanted to just dive into the Indigo Clan, dive into the culture, embrace who they are, embrace their path of purpose, embrace their own, indigo path, as we would say. So this first box set bundle has the hardcover book, has a poster, has some stickers in there. Also includes the multimedia aspect. So we didn't really mention, but we also have animation, 2 episodes of animation of Indigo Clan Chapter 1 turned into motion graphics, added soundtrack, having different voiceovers, adding music, and then we have music albums. So it's like the characters of the Indigo Clan are rapping and singing, as though they're, musicians in the comic. And then Jabari Tawiya, the Grammy Award winning producer, and I are also composing an instrumental album. So it's something to listen to as people are reading the comic and just having a certain vibe. We have a beanie there. It's going to be winter time, so we were like, okay, folks are going to want a beanie with the indigo symbol representing, you know, guidance in our path, com- um, combining mind, body, and soul, and embodying who we are, who we're meant to be. T-shirt with Walt Barnes art, and then the box with the indigo symbol on it.
I just think whoever whoever gets the 5, they're getting so much stuff. That's what I was talking to Ryan about it last week. I'm like, they're getting so much stuff. This is like a steal. I think this
Yeah,
is great.
yeah, we're not, making a bunch of money off this. This is about helping us to fund this comic and helping people to have some dope gear, some drip, indigo drip, as my son called it.
Yes.
And then, the next box set bundle has even more. We have like a really cool wraparound hoodie. Yeah, I think that's it right
Oh,
there.
the everything box set. Okay. And there's
Everything
only
box
5
set.
of those. Okay.
Yeah, so it has the hoodie with the symbol wrap around. It's a really cool pattern. The backpack. So folks that are just ready, like, let me embody this, the sticker pack. Um, and then indigo crystal. So these are really unique
Oh, see, that's
quartz.
pretty.
It's called the indigo aura crystal. It's a really unique type of quartz crystal. It's hard to find them in this type of cut, this type of size. And so we, we have a few of them that we just want something that people can hold, like, okay, like I can feel this. It has beneficial attributes to it. Helps with energy of courage, solidifying your chakras. These types of things are listed in the box set as well. And then a mug, because I really enjoy having a mug with art on it. So, I think folks really like to see the characters on the mug, and they can just enjoy it in their everyday life.
And then music project bundle. What is that? Is that like a?
Yeah, I explained it in the last bundle I showed you, but it's just it's going to be 2 albums. So one album that's already released, with Deva rapping and singing as though she's in the comic book. The backstory of Deva: before she joined the Indigo Clan, she's a
I see.
rapper doing graffiti. Yep. So she's making music, and then we're making another album continuing on that concept, adding in other vocalists, and produced by myself and Jabari Tawiya, and just kind of like helping to expand this culture of the comic book. It's not just a comic book, it's a whole way of life. It's a music genre, even like metaphysical hip hop, like things that are positive in our lives, and can really just create a whole, like I said, like a multimedia experience. And then another album with the instrumentals on it, and just creating a whole vibe. I also do sound healing and stuff like that. So Auspicious Acoustics on YouTube. We have meditation videos and these types of things. So folks can go, really deep and just embody this comic, not just read it. And so we say it's more than a comic. It's a movement. Let's join the
Yes.
movement.
And then Pericles asked, would you consider Indigo Clan action figures?
That'd be dope. Yeah, I've definitely want to do that and thought about it. It's let's hit some stretch goals. Let's add it to the stretch goals for sure. Like once we start getting up there, that would be really cool. If enough people want to do an action figure, I think it would be amazing.
And it says, what was some of the other bundles? Didn't you have original art? I was thinking is that in here now
Yeah.
available?
Yeah, so we have some original art. We have one more box set which just has a foil cover. There's only a couple of those available. Just something really special for the to have a foil cover option. It's gonna be super collectible. We're not gonna do it again. It's not something that's easy. But we have, and Stephen Harris is selling to help with this Kickstarter. He's selling a few pieces of his original hand-drawn art of the covers. And one of one pieces, the original one, and he's clean with his art. There's no smudge
Yes,
marks.
we know that. Yes.
There's no smudge marks. It's on the original Stratham bristleboard comic book template with the blue lines. Really collector's piece, really special that he's offering to add these to the Kickstarter. And so we have chapter 2 cover, chapter 3 cover, which I know he really likes, and I'm super thankful he's offering it for somebody special to own that piece, because I know he'd rather keep it. And then even the trade cover, yeah, so that's the chapter 3, the one with the harpy eagle. And then the trade cover, which the pencils for this double page spread, like, I don't know
Yeah,
if
it's just beautiful work.
yeah, I don't know if folks are gonna have another opportunity to own something like this, a double page spread by an artist like Stephen Harris, that's available with this Kickstarter. So for these serious collectors. I know Comic Book Lords knows some collectors out there, so it's super special opportunity.
Yeah, don't wait, because now that it's on our channel, it's first come, first served. There's only one of one.
That's right. I heard about your channel when this channel airs, a whole bunch of stuff happens after the show airs, like sales and eyes on other people's works and
Yeah.
pages.
And everything purchased that we refer, it only goes up in value. So I mean, these prices are like steel prices. So I
Yeah.
wouldn't wait. If you're thinking about it, just click the button. Just go ahead and get it. Don't
Yeah.
wait.
On that subject, in the Kickstarter has a great payment plan option, so folks can break up the payment. So one, you don't have to pay right away, and two, when it is time to pay, you can actually break that payment up to spread over a few months. So that's going to help some folks really, get some really cool rewards here.
And did I see that there's an executive producer package?
Executive producer, yeah, there's some producer and executive producer package. So this is, some folks out there really want to up their game with their own comic book, with their own publishing, their own music, a combination of all that. And so we just wanted to offer something really special for somebody that's really wanting to invest into what they're doing in a great way. So it includes a one-on-one call with Stephen Harris, hour-long call with and Stephen Harris, to get some insights about the comic book industry, being an independent creator, being a mainstream professional, a sought-after artist. Also a call with Jabari, who's been in the music industry for 15 years. He won a Grammy Award. He's a highly sought after audio engineer and producer, and he's also very deep brother, and he has a lot of insight, advice, and ideas for collaboration, how to really take a project and expand on its multimedia aspects. A lot of folks are wanting to do this with incorporating music and animation and different things into their projects, and Jabari is a great resource for that. And then two separate calls with me, one as an indie publisher. I've been publishing indie comics, Indigo Clan, for 8 years. Also have a side story, Karas Warrior Priesthood. So in the last 8 years of being an indie publisher, like learning a lot of lessons, how to really excel, how to get the book out there, how to put together a beautiful Kickstarter page. It's a lot of work, lessons,
It is.
ways to save yourself time and money and effort by learning from our experiences. You don't have to make the same mistakes we did, and you can also a person can also incorporate a lot of these things that we're doing to help make an amazing product. And also another thing that I'm offering is a energy healing session. So I also do energy healing, helping folks to remove energetic blockages in their life, align chakras, clean their aura, connect with past lives, heal ancestral trauma, current life trauma, and all these things that can be done over a distance, over a Zoom call. And so this bundle, this reward gives a person executive producer credit in the book, in the credit section in the book, executive producer. So it also adds to the credentials as somebody who's doing big things in the industry.
That's right. And that kind of access to not only industry expertise and session, that will give anybody a running head start on their own project. So that's only one of one, another one of one. Okay. So if anybody's got a project out there, and it's, you don't want to stumble, this is easy. This is a no-brainer.
Mm.
Um, so what are some of the stretch goals that you have in mind, that you've already put in the Kickstarter? What's the next one, and what does that look like?
Yeah, the first stretch goal that we um, are going to do is including the chapter 6 cover at the end of the book. So when
Oh,
folks finish the book, they're like, okay, then they can see what's coming next. You know, chapter 6 continues the story, and so this way we can have, you know, Stephen put all the time and work and energy, and him and I collaborating on refining it. Joseph, since we have him on board right now, he can also give his input for this chapter 6 cover included in the book. And after that, I mean, I don't have them memorized.
oh
Let me
no,
think
that's okay.
what's next. I can pull it up here. The next stretch goal is episode 3 animation. So we have for episode 2 animation, you know, we have everything we need. We have the animation done. We have the recordings for the voices. Jabari and I are gonna go in, dial in the soundtrack, you know, just kind of finish it. So the next stretch goal is episode 3. So we're gonna take the third chapter, the third part of chapter 1, and turn that into an animation as well. Um, and then after that, the next stretch goal is something I've been really wanting to do for a long time in the Indigo Clan comic book, and that's to have like a training manual in the book. So having, you know, different techniques, skills, practices for meditation, for connecting to the chakras, to the auras, to energy healing, grounding out the energy, connecting to our higher selves, like having fields of protection, how to use sacred geometry and meditation, how to live healthier, how to cultivate our chi, a lot of these different types of things. So that's what that third stretch goal is we're going to have 8 new pages of art to go along with this training manual, and then 8 pages of the training manual to really help people to, you know, improve their lives. Like the comic book is helps make some of this stuff accessible, and then the training manual helps us to cultivate those things.
I love it. Some of the questions that come up, what format do the animation episodes come in? Like once, you know, the in that particular tier, if
Hmm.
they select that, what does that look like?
Yeah, so it's a digital download, so folks can download it onto their devices. Um, and you know, the animation is motion graphics, so it's taking the images from the comic, separating the images and the layers and all these things, and adding motion to it. So if you know, it's an animation of those actual images. and
Oh,
then
nice.
and then, you know, different voices, different people, you know, men and women, and you know, it's voicing each character, different individuals voice that does a voice for each character, kind of embodying who they are in the comic, and then the soundtrack to really bring it to life.
And then was there a mention of a YouTube channel?
Oh
I
yeah,
don't.
I think they're referring to the meditation videos. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, my wife and I, our channel is called Auspicious Acoustics, AUSPICIOUS Acoustics on YouTube, and we have some hour-long meditation videos there.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's great. And then we have compliments to Steve. Art in these books is amazing. He truly is an underexposed talent in comics. I appreciated the alley-oop in Harlem, fam.
Oh, thank you. I wonder what that alley was in Harlem. What did I do there? But I appreciate the compliment. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, you are very underexposed. Your name pops up ever so often, and everybody loves your work, but like people don't realize that you've been around a minute. You know, you've got a extensive resume.
Yeah, I try to tell people, but you know, I'm just
Well, I'm telling them now, extensive resume. Do not sleep on this artist. Do not sleep.
Thank you, Kane. Thank you, Jameer Kane. Appreciate you.
And then let's see. Oh yeah, we did ask that earlier about the conflicts happening in both Earthbound and in the astral plane. When with that motorcycle scene, but there's other conflicts that are similar in the story. So you gotta get the book, pledge, get the book so you can see all the adventures around the world.
Yeah, and then as far as the non-Earth realms, they go to the astral plane, they go to spiritual realm, they go to healing realms, they go to past lives, so there's a few different
It's an
ways they
all-around
travel.
struggle. It's like earth, spirit, past lives, ancient times. It's never ending. They can't get a break.
And I don't know if we have any other questions from the audience. Now's the time to ask and pick brains.
Yeah, it's been a great conversation. Yeah, thanks for having us and letting us go deep and breaking down some of the symbology and some of the behind the scenes of what's going on with it.
Yeah.
This cover that Steven put together is just so powerful, like they don't have to be in action poses for you to know that it's about to go down.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And on the back cover, just letting you know, like, okay, these guys are serious too. They're about to give some big challenges to the Indigo Clan. And then you can see the legion of reptoids in the background.
Yeah, if Indigo Clan comes back to America after they were in Oakland, you'll definitely see some people dressed cosplaying as soldiers with Ray-Ban glasses as reptoids.
I can see that. I definitely can see that.
And again, I'm talking to you, Ice. Yes, shots fired again.
Well, I have to say that I'm excited for this book. It'll add to my special book shelf with my other ones, but I'm more really anticipating reading and getting to know all the characters and pick my favorite. Not sure which one yet, but I like them all so far. And then Rye, this is the first time you were on Black Comic Lords. Is that right?
Yeah.
So we have a tradition that when you come on the show, you are considered family. So if you look into the camera and you say your name and then say, "I am a Black Comic Lord."
Okay. My name is Rael Nagasta. I am a Black Comic Lord.
Perfect. Thank you. And then Steve, you already did yours, right? Yes, no?
Yeah.
You did yours. And welcome to the family, Rael. And thank you everyone for joining us today. Like I said, there is original artwork. Do not miss out because those prices, when you go to them art shows, like we, hang out over there at the original art show when it comes every year, and those prices aren't the prices. You know what I mean? So don't miss out because.
Yeah, I just was walking around New York Comic-Con this weekend, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. I didn't go Friday.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're out there with the original artwork. So.
And the executive producer package, that's second to none. That is not a normal offering. You want to make sure that if you are on your own project, this gets you ahead of the game immediately with all those industry references. There's nothing like that traditionally on a Kickstarter. There's a lot of good packaging in here, and the price point is beyond reasonable. And of course, there's traditional, just buying the book. The book is almost 200 pages. What is it, like 192 pages once it's done? Is that right?
That's right.
So this will be a full graphic novel. You want to make sure that get yours, and then you can also pledge without a reward if you just believe in what Rael and Steve is doing, bringing all of this culture and truth to the comic book realm. You can just donate $10, $20, and just because you believe in this coming to fruition. So I want to thank everybody for coming tonight. This was a great Sunday fun day, and we bid you adieu. Good night, everybody.
Night. Thank
Good night,
you.
everybody. Thank you for joining us.